Hey, Bob. I got. How much have you paid attention to the weather forecast with the hurricane and all hitting?
I haven't. I really haven't. I know that it's out there. My wife's told me, and that there's a lot of people talking about it, but it won't. I mean, for us, we're still got to prepare. I mean, one way or the other. So we're trying to get this team ready to play a really good football team. So I hadn't thought twice about it.
Bubba Cunningham put out a release yesterday about monitoring the situation and some talks with the ACC. Does he ask you for any input about preferences that what alternatives might be?
Well, he hasn't told me any alternatives. I mean, we want to play. So, I mean, I don't know what I don't know what the alternatives are. So, but I'm sure Bubba will talk with me when that comes up.
Okay.
I think they've got a meeting tomorrow or something, I believe.
There was some speculation about possibly
Moving it, like location?
Yeah, there's like.
Would that be? I mean, would you be?
No, I wouldn't be for that. No, I wouldn't be for that at all.
Larry, you said earlier today that winds is more of an issue for you than rain. Is that just because of the kicking, or is that a fact that?
Well, special teams big, but I mean, if it's enough wind, it affects the throwing game also. But we try to train no matter what, so that our guys don't think about it and don't worry about it. But for me, there's a lot of decisions that have to be made, and a lot of it has to do with the kicking game.
You were probably out here when they decided it, but the ACC decided to stick with the status quo when it comes to the football schedule.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Good.
Play just 8 games.
Good. Yeah, that's great.
In favor of that, what's just kind of your general thought of?
Well, I think it's important. I think it's working for our league. I think our league has grown. If you look, just in the last 5 years, what this league's accomplished, I think it's. So I think what we're doing with our scheduling is pretty good. I think it's growing. I think when you compare what we're doing to a lot of the leagues, we're doing some good things. So I feel comfortable with where we are. The only thing I worry about is having enough teams to play. That's the big question.
Are you talking about having success outside the league, and if there was a 9-game schedule, there would be less opportunities to have some of those impact type games?
I guess you could say it that way.
You had actually
didn't
mentioned.
Ask me a question. You just told me.
Well, no, I did. I do that sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I said it sounded like good steak.
I did it the other day. Okay, is that your view on it? There's a question.
My view on it is it's been working the way it is. Our league has gotten better and better and stronger each and every year, and we're pretty strong this year. So I think what we've been doing with our scheduling has been really good from each school. I think we have a pretty good philosophy across the league.
You guys, as a league, the footprint overlaps with the SEC a good bit. The SEC is at an 8-game schedule. It just makes sense. It'd be a little bit of a asset to them to have the flexibility that you didn't have.
Well, you mean if we didn't have the same?
Right, not having the same flexibility in that regard, of be able to kind of have your schedule a little more flexible.
Yeah, I like having the flexibility in the schedule. I'm sure they do too. I'm sure that's why they like it that way also. So, the only thing I worry about is having enough inventory to be able to play, to fill those schedules. Because a lot of teams are getting filled out, for years in advance. So when you have a hole and you start looking for somebody, it's tough to find somebody. That's the toughest part about it.
Has Bud Foster adjusted anything with the new offensive coaching staff in there? It's the same old Bud.
It's I have so much respect from him as a defensive coordinator. I think he's one of the best out there in the country, and I think probably what it's done for him is he knows they've scored points. So he doesn't have to be worried about going too aggressive or not aggressive enough. He can just let it fly, and that's what he's been doing. His defense has been playing really well.
What kind of work has Thomas Jackson done to get to the point where he's helping you on Saturdays like he is?
Well, the guy's worked extremely hard. He's worked hard at building a reputation on his team and building a trust amongst his teammates. You come in as a walk-on, and people don't look at you the same way. And so you have to prove yourself. And he starts out a lot of it on scout team, and then he moves into a position on some special teams, and he makes plays there. And then all of a sudden, people start recognizing who he is and getting confidence in him. And then Coach Brewer puts him in situations in practice, and he makes those plays, and so put him in a game. And he's been doing it.
What do you attribute your success with walk-ons to? You've had a lot of walk-ons over your years, including last year, really make a contribution. That
Well,
trend has continued to.
You know, when we came in here, we lost 5 scholarships a year for the first 3 years. So, I mean, we had to make a conscious effort of going out and actually recruiting and looking at guys that we thought would be good walk-ons, even though some of them had scholarships at other places. Some of them didn't. And we had to try to convince some of them to come here, and some of them wanted to be Tar Heels, so it worked out.
You see any recruiting implications playing Virginia Tech, kind of a rival in a lot of the guys you compete for, and the fact that you recruit the state of Virginia?
Yeah, no doubt. We recruit Virginia hard. They recruit North Carolina, so it's. I think it's important. I think, you know, for us, it's probably more important about what we're going to do in the Coastal than it is just Virginia Tech. I don't know that players. I don't know that they put all their eggs in that basket. Well, who beat who? You know, I think it's more about where the program's going, what's happening in the program, you know, all those kind of things. So this is a big game, obviously, for us for the Coastal Division.
Have you crossed paths with Justin before, Coach?
I have not. No, I haven't. I have not. I've watched him from afar. I know, you know, back when he was an OC at TCU, and you know, we went out and spent some time with him and talked ball with him back then, and you know, I've had a lot of respect for what he's done. He did an unbelievable job at Memphis.
How much of a role do you have in defensive game plan against a team like this that runs a similar scheme to y'all? Are you ever?
How much do I?
Yeah.
None.
It's all just like.
I mean, you know, when they ask me questions about why are they doing this, what's going on here, you know, I give them my advice and but I'm not telling them what they need to do. You know, there's enough good coaches in that room that they don't need me telling them what they need to do on defense. I mean, they know what they're doing.
How similar is it, do you feel, between
Well,
what Justin does and what you guys do?
I mean, there's some similarities. I mean, you know, they've got a quarterback like we had with Queese, a guy that, you know, is big, that can run the football, has got a really strong arm. They're spreading the field. They're running the ball. I mean, so I think they're doing a really good job, and they're mixing it up. I mean, they look like, I don't know what their numbers are, but they look very balanced when you just watch them. They can run it. They can throw it. They can do both. All right.